We'd go out at lunch and have, our 2 or 3 martinis, and then at 5 o'clock, 5:30, we'd go across the street to the Pink Poodle and have another 2 or 3 martinis. So I don't know how we were able to continue in that particular climate. We were the brand men. First job I had out of school was with McCall's Magazine, which was an interesting year in that I had an opportunity to work with Andy Warhol. He had just come into New York, and we used him for fashion drawings. But it was a year of doing editorial design, and you don't change a lot. And I had a friend that told me about this company that was doing something new and doing something different, something called corporate identity, where they're packaging companies the way you package a product. I was first at Lippincott from 1958 to 1960, came back in 1965 until 1972. When I came back, there was a different intensity, a greater variety of products and industries that they were working on. They had brought many more services. On my very last day, in probably the end of 71 or 72, I had progressed to this point here on the right. Sideburns were very much in at that time, and so were gunfighter mustaches. It was just fun, the great variety of clients that we had in different industries made every day a different opportunity to do something that was unusual and unique. Goldman Sachs was interesting. We developed very classical letter forms. The only uniqueness was the ligaturing of the G and the S. We set it in a square to represent solidity, and they wanted to be seen as a creme de la creme of the investment banking community. And I think we achieved that because it's still in use today. It's been tweaked a little bit, but basically it's the same concept. You're working with Great Northern or Burlington Northern Railroads. They were a major carrier for freight and passengers at that time. What we came up with is what you can see here. It's a very strong rendition of the goat. It was a very, very successful program. Let's talk about Taster's Choice. General Foods came out with the first freeze-dried coffee. It was almost an instant success, and Nestle's wanted to get on the bandwagon. So they came to Lippincott and asked us to develop the concept. One direction was coffee beans, another one was kind of an alphabetical solution with type and everything. And another one came down to an individual sipping a cup of coffee. I happened to be walking by the photo room, and Lou Skolnick, who was the photographer for the company at the time, said, "Can you come in here and spare a minute?" So I went in, he gave me a cup of coffee, and he said, "Just stand there for a second." He took about a half a dozen Polaroids. We put them on mock-ups, took all of them out for test marketing, and the one that came back was the one with my face on it. Until not too many years ago, I was the face on the label. It was fun to kind of hang around supermarkets hoping someone would recognize me, but that never happened. To guarantee a successful brand, you look around today, you see Goldman Sachs, as I mentioned, Coca-Cola. Some of them have been tweaked a little bit, but they're still out there. I think what helps a successful brand is really having something that defines the personality of the company and will carry it forward for a number of years if it's managed properly. I think branding today has progressed to a point where it's a lot more sophisticated. I bet if I walk through the design area here now downstairs, I bet I wouldn't see a rubber cement pot. I probably wouldn't see a T-square. That's all changed. What has made them a success throughout the ages, they have always had a quality of people here that are very, very good in their different areas and in their different disciplines. They are really the firm that started this whole process of analyzing where a company is and where it's going. There's many imitators, but there's only one Lippincott.